Bobcat, and if you were to come across me in the woods, there's a good chance this is how I would look. This is how I'd be dressed. It might look a little funny, but each thing I'm wearing and carrying has a specific purpose, or two, or a dozen. So let's go through what I carry when I'm out on a hunting trip, or just a scouting trip, or just out in general with my shotgun. Just to start with, let's go over the shotgun. This is a single-shot Harrington-Richardson New England Partner 410 shotgun. It's 3-inch chamber, 18-inch barrel, single shot, break action. It's not a lot of moving parts. I think it's got under a dozen moving parts. It's a simple shotgun to maintain and use and clean, but it's effective. You're not going to break it, and a 410 is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, it might be a little underpowered on bigger game, but for shooting rabbits, doves, etc., this is a very useful tool. So with the shotgun out of the way, I figure I'd just start at the top, work my way down and in. So, this is my hat. Just a white cowboy hat. Keeps the sun and rain off my head. Also makes me look fairly cool, right? I mean, who doesn't look good in a cowboy hat? From there, we're going to move to my neck cloth, which I just have tied around. This is just regular bandana. I think it's, what is it, 12 or 18 inches across by 18 inches, something like that. And this has a lot of uses. Number one, what I normally use it for is it just keeps the sweat from running down my neck and tickling. But it also keeps the sun off my neck if the sun's at a weird angle and my hat doesn't cover it. You can use it to filter dirt out of water, or if you have a, say you cut your arm and you need a tourniquet, works pretty good, well for that. I can also use this to, like if I find berries or something, I can wrap them up in here and save them for later, so they don't get squished in my possibles bag. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a bandana. It's a fairly multi-purpose tool. The Swiss Army knife of clothing. From there, we're going to go to my possibles bag. Oddly enough, I made this in, I think it was 4th or 5th grade, for a school project on the colonial days of the U.S. It's designed specifically as a possibles sack. It is for carrying things for when you're out in the woods. In mine, I carry this, which is my fire kit. Usually I have a butane lighter in here. I don't have it in here right now because I left it out in my truck by accident, but whatever. And this is just a piece of paper towel that I poured some melted beeswax on, and it burns, well, usually for around 20 to 30 seconds per inch. So it burns really well, makes a good way to start a fire. I also have some waterproof matches. These are just regular strike anywhere matches that I coated in wax. Also in here, I carry a flashlight. This is a 12 or 9 LED little AAA battery-powered flashlight. These things are $3 at Harbor Freight, and they last, I think it's 14 hours on one set of batteries or something like that. So, useful little light. Then lastly, I carry ammunition in here. Whatever gun I happen to be carrying, usually it's my 410, sometimes a 30-30, depends on what I'm doing. So I just carry usually a whole box of ammunition. From there, we'll move on to this shirt, which, I mean, it's a shirt. What more can you say, really? It's got a couple pockets. They're pockets. Regular button-down, long-sleeve shirt. One thing I do like about this shirt is it has the little buttons up here and a little strap so you can roll your sleeves up and keep them up out of the way, which is nice. It's lightly colored so it reflects the sun's rays, keeps you cool in the summer, but, you know, got a good collar on it and keeps the sun off of you. But if it gets cold, you can roll the sleeves down and you got a layer of warmth. So, there's that. It's also a fairly effective way of, you know, sometimes I'm in close to town, and sometimes I'm carrying my gun, carrying a handgun. If I don't have my rifle or a shotgun, I usually have a handgun. And if it's somewhere where it's legal, I'll carry this, but sometimes I don't want people to see it, so I just cover it up with this. Keeps it out of the way and doesn't scare people. But there we go. It's a shirt. We'll move on to the aforementioned handgun. This is just my Beretta 9mm. It's just the handgun I have, so that's what I carry. I have it in a cheap $7 nylon holster from Walmart, but it does the job. Does it fairly well, actually. It has a strap with the button, so it's a tight button, so I'm not going to lose the handgun when I'm out. From there, we'll move to my knife, which is just a belt knife. One I'm wearing today for this video happens to be a Winchester gutting and skinning knife. I got this from my uncle, so it was a Christmas present, something along those lines. Just a belt knife. Always need a belt knife when you're out in the woods. From the belt knife, we'll move to my little pocket knife. Again, just a little Winchester knife from Walmart. Always nice to have a little knife, that way you don't have to dull your big one if you need to whittle something down, like making tools out in the woods, or cutting rope or whatever. You can just use this instead of your big knife. It's also handy if you're skinning a squirrel or a small fish or something, to have a smaller blade. So finally we're down to the last couple layers here. Got just a t-shirt, always wear a t-shirt. But underneath I've got just an undershirt. It's another layer of protection around my core in case it gets cold, if I get stuck out overnight for whatever reason. It's another layer of protection. It's moisture wicking. Shirts. Layers, layers, layers. That's the key when you're out there. I hope you enjoyed the video today about what I wear when I'm out on small game hunting trips or just scouting trips for hunting trips. Hope you enjoyed it, found it informative. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment, give me suggestions or other ideas. Subscribe if you haven't already, and be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Bobcat in the Woods. I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope you might enjoy some of these others that I've left on the screen. There's a playlist on the left and a video on the right that's related to this one. And if you enjoyed the channel, feel free to subscribe. There's a link to that in the center of the screen.